Hey guys, so today we're going to be learning how to get rid of your green screen completely without any shadows. So let's get right into the topic. First, you'll see the two choices on your left side, which is new project or open project. And on the right side, if you're not the first time using Premiere Pro, then you will usually have a list of your previous work that you've been saved before, and you can always open up a old one and keep editing it. So since I already have the file, I'll just open the previous one. And once you open it up, you'll be able to see 4 sections, which is your timeline, program monitor, source monitor, and project panel. There are many ways that you can insert your videos into Premiere Pro, and the way I usually do it is to right click on project panel and choose import, and then choose your videos that you want to edit. And since I already have my videos ready, I'll just need to drag into my timeline. And usually when you work with green screen, you will at least need to have 2 videos. One is your background and one is the green screen tape. And here is an order to remember when you're working with green screen. You need to drag in your background video first and then put your green screen videos on top of it. So once you do that, there is a chance that you'll see your second video, which in this situation is the video of yourself, is way too big and it covers up the background video. So what we're gonna do is to double click on the video in the program monitor, and then you will be able to see that you can readjust the size of your video. You do the exactly same thing if you have another video. For example, when we're doing the project of clone ourselves. So you basically just drag it on top of the previous one and then readjust the size by double click on the video. However, as you can see right now, the length of each video is not the same. So what we're gonna do is to cut out the extra part by dragging the end of the video in the timeline to a spot that you want. And you can also do that by clicking on the eraser tool on the left side of the timeline. As we are editing using Premiere Pro, there's a line that you will notice in the timeline section. So that line is basically telling you that you need to render your video and you need to turn it from yellow or red into green. So how we're going to do that is basically click on sequence on the top left side and then choose render into out, and that will render your whole video. And our next step is to make a mask around the subject using the pen tool under opacity. And since now we're using the clone project as an example, we'll need to do it for both videos of ourselves. So our next step is to remove the green screen. What we're gonna do is to go to effect. If you can't find it in your current setting, then you can just go to the top left, click on window, and then click on effect, and then you'll see it appear on the right side of your table. So the effect we're going to use is Outro key. You can just simply search for it and then drag it on top of the videos that you used green screen. Once you apply the effect, you'll see the effect control, a section that will appear on the left side. So under key color, we'll use the color selector to click on the green screen background of your video. And after we do that, you'll get to see that your green screen background has been removed. Here comes to the main part of our video. So there is a big problem you'll notice when you're using green screen is that your green background has not been removed clearly and completely, and you'll see those shadows at the background, and that is basically caused by the lighting when we're filming in real life using green screen. But don't worry, there's a very easy way to solve that problem. So we go back to effect control and then set the output to alpha channel. So in this way, it will be more clear since everything is black and white. And then the key to remember is that the black parts are going to be removed and the white part will be remain in the video. So what we need to do is to make sure the background is as dark as possible, and then our object, which is the person ourselves, is as light as possible. And then we make sure the edges are very clean because we don't want to get like our ears or our like other parts to get cut off. So how we're gonna do that is simply go under the two section called matte generation and matte cleanup under the key color part. So these two sections, they have a whole list of rates that you can play around with. I cannot give you a specific rate number to go with because everybody's video and lighting is different when we're filming using green screen. So the easiest way for you is to play around with the rate, to move it around, and then just make sure your background is as dark as possible and your object is as light as possible. So after you're done that, you change the output back to composite. So not alpha channel anymore, changes to back to the original one. And then at that time, you'll see that everything is very, very clear. So the shadows has been removed and then you have a very clear background. It is the exactly same process if you have another video of yourself that you already removed the green screen, but you want to make sure there's no shadows at the back. So again, you set the output to alpha channel, and then once you see the videos in black and white, you just play around with the rate of matte generation and matte cleanup, and then be careful with the edges part so you don't get your hair or any parts of yourself get cut off. And now after you're done, you just change the output back to composite instead of alpha channel, and then everything is done. We want to make sure to render the video again and to make sure the line's in green before we export our file. In this case, we want to make sure our file is in MP4. So what we're going to do is to click on export instead of save as, click on media, and then what we'll see is a setting. So select the file type as H264, and that is the MP4 file. And then you can just change your file name as whatever you want or as the project name. And after that, save, and then we just click on the export button, and that is it for your last step, and everything is done.